Guys, are you creative or reactive? Watch my interview with Miss Lee Hypersmith and see what's the difference of creative versus reactive. Just be creative and make it happen.
Am Lee Smith, and Lee is spelled L-Y, and that is because my mom is from Vietnam, so that is my Vietnamese name.
Oh.
And I like to say, if you wonder how to pronounce it, just think different Lee, and that is me. So that's a great thing. And I am a productivity architect with Upcycle Coaching. And what I do is I help entrepreneurs and business professionals to design a life that they will love living, because we get so overwhelmed and stressed out with our to-do lists and demanding schedules. And I say I like to take those GERS and turn them into your greatness. And so I am just excited to be here and share with your audience.
Yes, that's great. That's great, information. And thank you so much for sharing your experience and your knowledge about it, because I want to learn
So
more
as
about
a
that too, because I'm not
productivity
expert
life
on that.
coach, what I want to help people do is align their mindset. I believe when you align your mind, you can then create the time for the things that matter the most to you, and your productivity will skyrocket. So many times we run around, I'm so busy, and I don't have the time for this, and I don't have the time for that. And that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, doesn't it?
Yes.
And so when you can challenge yourself to think, I have enough time to do all the things I want to accomplish today. And when you say that, maybe consciously you don't agree that's true, but when you say that again and again, your subconscious then goes to work with you and for you to figure out, well, how do we make that true? And then putting that to action, you realize, wow, I really do have time for everything that I want to accomplish today. And so that's where we start with the mindset of creative versus reactive. And I have a little visual. Let's see if my visual will show up. So when you when you write the two words out and you take a closer look, these two words have the exact same letters in them, right? They're just arranged differently. And I say it's a matter of how you see it. And that can be how you look at it, but it also when you look at the C. So when you see the C in reactive, it's surrounded by all these other letters, right? And so when you see yourself going through your day and you have your to-do list coming at you and somebody's putting expectations on you, you have your own expectations, you have your time pulling you in all of these different directions, your relationships professionally and personally, you're just pulled from all these different directions, right? Because you see yourself just surrounded by all of that, and then you just feel like, how do I react to this and react to that, react to this, react to that, and then you find yourself, I'm so busy. What am I really getting done? Now, when you see yourself at the beginning, you take command of what follows throughout the day. So you get to see yourself in the beginning, design the day that way that you want to experience it, and then you can put your priorities where you want them, take the action on your priorities, and even when interruptions or the unexpected happens, you are in a mindset that's more prepared to cope with that. And so when things come your way, it gives you more power to say no where you need to say no, where you can say yes because you want to say yes, because it aligns with the rest of being creative. right?
Yes.
And now you are living the day that you desire because you designed it yourself instead of reacting and feeling all over the place. And now you're still busy in a sense because you are productively making things happen. And at the end of the day, you feel more fulfilled. And
Mm.
isn't that what we want more out of life? We want that energy. We want to feel fulfilled. When we're being reactive, it just drains us. But when we're creative, it energizes us.
Yeah.
And then we can go out and make those things happen. So
Yes.
that is reactive and creative. So
Oh,
would you rather, Maria, would you rather be creative or reactive?
creative, of course.
Yay!
Yeah, I don't want to be overwhelmed until the end of the day. You've never done nothing, right? Because of, a lot of things going on. You're getting panicked. So, yes, I want to be creative, of course. Yes. How
Fantastic.
can, how can people, put that mindset for the very first time, that being creative and reactive? Because some people really, a lot of things going on in their mind, and they don't know, I'm gonna be creative, I'm gonna be reactive. So yeah. So how can you like make calm down and think, or you need to meditate first, or you want to calm down first, or things like that.
Sure.
Mhm.
Here's how I like to do it. I call it the evening routine into the morning routine.
Mm.
And so in the evening, you can set a timer for yourself, maybe an hour before your bedtime, and it takes a moment to just the timer, so then you stop the timer and you take a breath, right? And it's like, okay, first you want to think about what are you grateful for in that day? What is one, if you can come up with just one thing, if you come up with plenty, that's awesome. But if you come up with just one thing, what went right today? So that you are now starting in this place of gratitude. And then thinking about tomorrow. What must I get done tomorrow? And the must, we're going to put in, it fits in with your goals. If you are a professional and you have a boss, that has a deadline on you, you're like, okay, well, I must get this done to meet that deadline. If you are an entrepreneur, you're working for yourself, okay, what must I get done to move the needle more tomorrow? Speaking to prospective clients, getting another client, following up with the client, delivering a product, good, or service so that I'm generating revenue. Those different activities, right? And then it's about, okay, so when we're looking at what we must get done, what are the top 1, 2, or 3 things that you can do? And I know all of us, we have to-do lists that seemed piled this high, right? But what I want you to do to give you this peace of mind and to be creative is to pick just the top 3. And then you can write those down either, in your phone or your journal, your planner, and then, you tell yourself, I am going to get plenty of rest tonight and I am going to wake up tomorrow energized.
Mm.
And you'll find telling yourself that as you're falling asleep, your subconscious goes to work on that. And then when you wake up in the morning, you hit the alarm. Don't hit the snooze button. And hitting that alarm and just taking charge of the day. Again, first thing you want to think of is, what are you grateful for? It could be as simple as, I woke up for another day. I'm ready, and being grateful. I have another chance to attack my goals, to fulfill my dreams, to serve the people that I love and adore, and I can't wait to meet. So having again that sense of gratitude, and then looking at your 3 things and getting yourself excited about them. Instead of thinking, oh, I have to do this today. You want to think, no, I get to do these things today because it's an opportunity to serve and it's an opportunity to pull and push yourself closer to your goals. That's creating energy. That's taking command of that day.
Mhm.
And when I'm in the shower, I like to think about, what can I get excited today? Like for me, I'm like, okay, I'm going to be on this Facebook Live with Maria today. That's my one thing I get to be excited about today, and to have this global connection. You're in Japan, I'm here in the States. I just find that so fascinating. I'm like, oh, that is super exciting. That's my one thing to be excited about today. And then I do think about too, because we want to keep things real, I do follow that up with, okay, well, here's looking at my day real quick. What could go wrong? And I don't, it's not a dread, it's just thinking realistic. Well, what could go wrong? And then how do I want to show up if that happens? And I'll tell you, 99% of the time, whatever I think might go wrong doesn't go wrong. And, now in this case, maybe it did for me personally, because I thought, oh, well, what could go wrong is if I don't make this connection. This is my first time sharing a Facebook Live with a host. And so it's like, what am I doing again? And we didn't make it successful the original time you and I had set. But I'm like, I'm just going to show up as best as I can, listen to you coaching me through this on how to make it happen, and I'll do the best. And then I said, well, okay, my window of time has closed, can we reset and just continue to show up and do it again anyway, right?
Yeah.
So I had already thought this morning when I was in the shower, it's like, well, what could go wrong? Well, if the technology doesn't work, if we have some difficulties, I can still show up anyway in the best version of me, right? And that's how we stay in that creative state of mind. So to summarize that all up, when you're getting ready in the evening for bedtime, what are you grateful for in that moment to put you in that peaceful state of mind? Think about the 3 things you must do the next day to move the needle forward. When you wake up the next morning, wake up again with that sense of gratitude, whatever you choose it to be, and then think about those 3 things, be enthusiastic about it, and then ask yourself, what can I get excited about today? And then feel that excitement, and then follow it up with what could go wrong, and just be real about it.
Yes.
And then determine how you want to show up. And that, again, when that unexpected happens, because life does happen, you are so prepared for it, and you still are able to make it a fantastic day, and it doesn't derail you from everything.
Yes, we were both same like-minded creative, that, because you said we've done this like early an hour, like 8:30 or 10 o'clock, right?
Yes.
We were rushing and a lot of things going on, but still we did it. We make it. So is this your first time showing on live on Facebook?
I have done my own Facebook Live videos, but as far as sharing the time and screen with another person, this was my first time. So thank you, Maria, for this opportunity.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure. I love to connect with other people too. So while sometimes we don't know things how to do it, like for what
Right.
we're doing while learning. So it's a part of learning, right? Because we mess up.
Absolutely. And when we can laugh at ourselves, it just makes the experience better, right?
I love technology because they're playing with us and we learn while we're doing, and that's why I always say to my friends and to some of my clients that even though you make a mistake or have failure, so from them we can learn, right? So don't be
Absolutely.
of failures or mistakes or things like that, because everyone make mistakes, right? So it's just a try. So just be creative, and that's what inside your mind. So no matter what happens, no matter what it takes, we're gonna get it. And now we're here.
Definitely,
Yes.
definitely. And that creativity, it just brings the positivity. And yes, like you were saying, Maria, mistakes are inevitable. We're human, and it's just part of life. And when we can just accept it's going to happen. And, the best way that I can move through that is to learn from it and keep going anyway, right? We don't let it block us. We don't let the mistakes create a wall that now we can't move forward. That's the worst thing that we could do for ourselves. But if we say, oh, well, what could I have done differently? Or what could I have done to make it better? And so, or what can I do now so that I don't make that mistake again, right? And again,
Yeah.
that's all using that creativity, and it's opening up that imagination, and that's so much more productive than being reactive, like, darn it, I'm just not smart enough. That stops us, that builds the wall, and we don't want the walls around us. We want to just keep growing and growing and growing.
Yes, yes, yeah, exactly, exactly. And that's why this Facebook live show I started. Before I just do my live, just my live like you. And then I think about what if that's why I make a post who wants to, to be my guest, so that only people that only me can hear them, so they can hear also some other people all over the world, that they can help you, and you can spread your message. You can give value to the world, and for all people, they can get more what do you call this, information, and what do you call this, if they need help or asking for any help. Because like you, if you're on a coach, like you're coaching this kind of expertise that you're expert with, that you are good at, but I'm not. So when we go live together and I really know you, I can what do you call it, introduce people who are looking for, oh, I know somebody that you can help you. So I can even though I don't have a product or service to offer to them, but I connect to a lot of people around the world, so I can introduce you, and hey, I know somebody who can help you with that. So that's why this is the purpose of my show. So everybody can, even it doesn't matter what niches you are, because people have different kinds of of niches and problems where they're struggling at. So they can connect and reach out to every one of us that we show up, so that they can hear from us,
Right.
right? It's better to hear from our own mouth, our own voice. So it's more engaging, and more what they call this, friendly talk, things like that. It's different than
Definitely.
talking with someone face to face than texting. You know what I mean?
Yes.
hmm Because there's, yeah,
Deepening the connection and the
yes,
relationship.
and the emotion and the feelings. Because when you're texting, there's no, you can text anything you want, but you don't hear the people, you don't see the people. You know what I mean. That's why I invite somebody to do Facebook Live or go live. Just I know you have a lot of things to spread and message to the world, because you want to help, you want to see what problems they are. If you can help, I know you. A lot of us, like, that's our goal and our mission. But there are one thing that they're stopping them, because they have fear on camera. They're afraid to talk. My language is not good, like like for example, we are not native English speaker, right? We are just like,
Right.
but anyway, we're trying to communicate. At least we can understand each other. So
Yes.
those simple things stop them, holding them back. There something blocking on their minds to move on. Yes.
Definitely, and
Mm,
that's where I try to help people too, is working through those limiting beliefs, or even the identity. There's so much that stops us from having what we truly desire because of the stories that we tell ourselves,
mm,
and that was part of my story too. I've been in the direct sales industry, as well as an entrepreneur for 20 plus years, but I didn't fully put myself out there because I kept telling myself, "Oh, I'm not this. Oh, I'm not that. So I'm not credible enough, or I'm not smart enough, or I'm not good enough. Who's going to want to listen to me?" And it was just a little over a year ago when I said, "No, this dream, it's so hungry to get out and serve into the world. So I want to do whatever it takes to get visible and get out there and serve, because if I just sit in my home and I keep all of this information to myself, I'm not doing anything
mhm.
really."
Yes.
And it's until I break through, which I've had to again and again break through my own fears to get out of my comfort zone. In fact, I have a mantra now. It says, outside my comfort, is my zone.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I'm obsessed with learning so that I continue to have content that is valuable to people who resonate with me, and then to expand my visibility. So when I saw this opportunity within our community to share like this with you and your audience, I thought, absolutely. I don't know all of Maria's audience, but I venture to guess that there's at least one person who will resonate with me and wants to know more about what I do and how I can help them. And so, it's like, okay, well, this is the first time for me. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm like, yep, it feels a little uncomfortable, but you know what? I'm going to do it anyway. And if I can encourage other people, because I truly believe every single one of us, and I know there's 7 billion people on our planet, and each of those 7 billion persons has a genius, and they have gifts that the rest of the world needs. And if I can help encourage them and then guide them as a coach, because that's all I'm doing as a coach, right, is guiding them to recognize this beauty and light inside of them that the world needs, then that's part of my mission and what I want to do. And so I'm, again, just so grateful for this
Yes,
opportunity.
yes, and that's what I want to. All we need is just to show up. That's all. So we are here to help you. And I always say, hey, when are you gonna show up? When? If not now, then when? If you're gonna show up,
Exactly.
why not now? Just start, and you'll see, right? We all start from zero. We all start same feeling like worries and I'm not good enough, I'm not perfect, things like that. Sometimes people are waiting for become perfect before they start doing this
Right.
yes. So
And perfection doesn't happen. That's such an unrealistic expectation. I have not met, I have not even seen. There are so many experts in the world and so many experts in all these different industries, and yet I still have not seen a perfect person. Have you, Maria?
no, that's perfect.
So it's almost silly to think, why do we even put that expectation on ourselves, and so
And just
I always have a thing of, strive for excellence and progress over perfection. And and even I do Instagram live videos, and I say, hey, I'm just coming here to share a story with you, a tool or a tactic to help you be better than who you were yesterday. It's not about, oh, well, how can I be better than Maria? No, it's not comparing ourselves to other people. It's like, okay, can the Lee today be better than Lee yesterday? And
mhm.
when I can challenge myself to do that and then step into doing that, because sometimes I still have fears, I still have self doubts, and I'm like, oh, and then I shake myself out, right? Take a breath, and I say, well, my mantra is outside my comfort is my zone. It's time to step into my zone and make these things happen. But it really is ultimately about, can I be better today than who I was yesterday? And then who do I want to become tomorrow? And then keep pressing and keep pressing and keep pressing, right? And
Yes.
that's where I want to challenge the audience, and where I want to help others one on one, to really dig deep into that and recognize you are brilliant, you are amazing. Let's get you to recognize that, and then let's enhance that with excellence, and not, let's let go of this idea of perfection, because
Mm,
it just doesn't exist, and it's an unnecessary expectation. Again, that idea of perfection builds up that wall.
mm.
it because it does make us think, I can't, right? I can't, I'm not perfect yet. I can't put this online course out, it's not perfect yet. I can't do this live, I'm not perfect. I can't get on the camera, I'm not perfect yet. It stops us. So let's let go of the perfection and go, you know what? I'm going to work on progress, I am going to work on excellence, and then baby step by baby step by baby step, we just get better and better and better.
Yes, exactly. And if you don't help yourself to get out of your comfort zone, even though you want to help other people, you cannot help other people if you don't help yourself to, you know, to get out of those fears and negative thoughts and things like that. So just be yourself, right? And just talk what you know
Absolutely.
and, and help what you can do in any way. You don't make it too complicated. If you cannot do, then find somebody else that you know that can help your if somebody come to you and asking for help, and it's not your really where you are good at. There are a lot of people, right? There are a lot of people that are showing up. You can reach out to them and and introduce them to those people that are expert on that kind of, like, for example, on well, health and will fitness, or instructor, or yeah, on if you're something looking for a travel, but I'm not on a travel niche, so I know somebody. There are a lot of entrepreneurs doing travel, so I can help them solve their problems. Not
Definitely.
not only me, my service, my products, my ABC, things like that. So that's how we work as an entrepreneur, and that's why we, even though we have the same niche, but we have different kind of strategy and process, and we don't know if this works for him, this works for her, right? So that's why we're all here. So let's see what works,
Right.
what's not. Mm.
Definitely community and collaboration. I
Mhm.
fully believe in that too. And I fully agree with what you're saying that, as you're progressing through your journey, if you're feeling stuck, look at somebody who is having the success that you
Yeah.
desire and reach out to them. If they're genuine about their success, they want others to succeed too. So when you reach out and ask for help, they're going to be, they'll make themselves available to help you. And that's what I do too. And even here in my local community, I live in Reno, Nevada, and it's a it's a small town compared to the other big cities across the country, and we live in a desert, so we're surrounded by mountains. And so I like to make the joke, we may be a desert town, but I feel like we are an island, and I know Japan's an island, right?
Yes.
Everything else is so far away. So the stronger you can make the community right where you are, the better the life experiences with everyone participating in that, right?
Mm.
And that community comes together when we share those gifts and the knowledge that we have, and we collaborate with one another. How can we work together? How can I help you and your business be better? How can you help me and my business be better? And we all rise together. And again, I love that this is what you're doing, Maria, because you're not stopping with just being in Japan. You're like, I'm reaching out to the world, and how amazing it is that we have the technology where we can do that.
Mm.
And sure, we might have the challenge of the time difference right now, but when you and I are both, we're action takers and go-getters, we're going to figure it out, right? And
That.
that's what I love too. Everything is figure outable. I stole that from Marie Forleo. Everything is figure outable. And so when you really want it, when you really want to make things happen, it turns on that creativity, and then you find the people that you can work with together and build that community and build that collaboration, and then these amazing things happen,
Yes,
right?
yes. And I don't think there's no such thing like I don't have time, you just always make the reason. Like, for example, how what time is here now in Japan? I think it's 2 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the
Well,
morning. But I didn't make that reason, oh, I cannot wake up, early morning, but I can sleep like 8 to 1 o'clock, and then I make my alarm because I have to do something, right? So I don't need to just wait from 8 o'clock to 2 o'clock this day, right? So I can make some beauty rest for a while
yes,
because I have this schedule, because it's not really every day, and that's entrepreneur. We don't have time. We're not working from 9 to 6 job on entrepreneur. Is like it's 24 hours. So if you really want to work with somebody, you have to make time. We all
right.
have the same time, 24 hours a day, right? We all have
This is true.
365 days a year. So we all have the same days, we all have the same time. And the only thing that's the problem is how you manage your time and how you organize your plans, how you can be
Right.
creative to to make it happen what you want to happen, right?
Exactly, exactly. Creative is saying, I will make the time, I will create the time to make that happen. Reactive is giving up and saying, I don't have time,
Mm.
and putting out the excuses. So I want to challenge you, Maria, and I want to challenge your audience. Stay creative and watch your productivity just skyrocket from there. And if you
Yes.
want help with any of that, know that I am here to help you with that, to be more creative.
If we can
Yeah.
do it now, why not? Because sometimes tomorrow doesn't come though, right?
This
Oh,
is
no.
true.
Mm.
Create and be in the moment right now. That's another one of my sayings is own your now.
Mm.
And that's if you can get it done now. And again, you will find that the product, something I love seeing again and again. I had a friend who she posted on Facebook. She did a before picture and an after picture of a closet that she wanted to reorganize, and she said it took me 20 minutes. I don't know why I waited 2 months to do it. Because again, we think we have this idea of how much time it's going to take, but when we say, let me do it right now, and then we find out, oh, when you attack it with that enthusiasm, then you find out that really did not take me as long as I thought it was going to take, right? And
Yeah.
then you have that sense of accomplishment and then go out and do it again.
Mm. Yes, that's easy as that. That's what you can do for now. Then do it for now. Don't make sense next later on tomorrow because we never know if tomorrow comes or something's coming out. So I cannot do it again. Something comes out. That's why I can't do this today. So what we can do for now, just do it. Right? Start.
Absolutely.
Just do it.
And there is a reality too, because I don't want to mislead anybody in any way. There's also a real realization that we can't do it all. And that's we need to be in a place of an acceptance of that too. And that's why I say pick 3 things. Because your list is going to be, your to-do list seems like it always is cycling this high, right? So many things coming. But when you pick 3, you can do 3. And getting yourself in that, again, creative mindset. How can I accomplish these 3 things today? And then do those 3, and sometimes you could be done first thing in the morning. Guess what? Now you have freedom throughout the day to do what you want to do. And if those 3 things take, and then if you find out, okay, I've got these 3 things done, you can then ask, what more can I do right now to move the needle, right? And if you find yourself distracted, we live in such a world of distractions, from social media, the phone calls, texts, emails, all of that pulling us in different directions. And I'm guilty of this too. So if you find yourself going down a rabbit hole, it's really easy to do, right? And it's like, oh, wait a minute, is this one of my 3 things? And then if it's not, push that aside, finish those 3 things, and then you can go back to the email, text, what have you. And so staying on top of that, it's keeping it simple, right? We pull away that overwhelm and we keep it simple with those 3 things, get that done. Now we have this sense of accomplishment, and it propels us to want to do more. And when we keep doing more, we just continue in this level of success, and we become what's called a high performer. And a high performer doesn't mean full blast 24/7, because even athletes, your Olympic medal athletes, they work hard, they put a lot of hours in, they set intentions, they take massive action, but they also have rest periods, they have break periods. And so we as entrepreneurs and business professionals, even if I have experience as a stay-at-home mom too. I was a stay-at-home mom for 15 years. And even in those cycles, it's like, yes, we have a period of action, but we also have to have a period of rest, because otherwise we're going to burn ourselves out. And so we can still have these massive goals where we're taking that massive action, and we're doing that as high performers. We're taking care of our physical health, we're taking care of our mental health, we're taking care of our spiritual health, we're taking care of our relationships, and we're doing that all at a level of excellence. So that's what high performance means. It doesn't mean go, 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 go all the time. We create this beautiful rhythm of excellence and performance, and then accomplishing those things. And again, it starts with the mindset. It starts with mindset. We can have all of these intentions, but if we don't have that right creative mindset, then we do find ourselves in this reactive, and then we're like, oh, I had all of these tensions, these dreams, but nothing is working. And then we have to go back and ask ourselves, well, who am I really being? And setting up that right identity with that creative mindset. And then that will allow us to go and actually do the things that matter the most. And we find ourselves in this place of living a life full of energy and full of accomplishment.
Yes, yes, exactly. Makes sense. I have a question. What advice can you give to, like for example, a mom that they have kids, right? And then after that, they bring to school, they go to work from 9 to 6, and then after that, they need to do their own business, like if they're doing like entrepreneur kind of business, and their energy is so drained for all day because of the work from 9 to 6, and then there's the kids, and then there's a hobby, and then there's the cooking dinner, and I'm so drained. I don't have energy. How can I be creative if I'm so much all day, and yeah,
Sure,
and feel so
definitely.
tired? So,
So let me see how I can do this and keep it brief and simple.
mm-hmm,
First thing I want to say is be super clear about what you desire. We start everything with clarity. And when we are super clear about what we want, I want to be the best wife possible, I want to be the best mom possible, and I want to succeed in my business. And then communicating that with the family, getting your spouse or partner involved, getting the children involved. Even at any age, you can communicate and get the children involved anyway. You know what? Mommy has this big dream, and share it, and maybe, let's say, the business has a reward that if you reach a certain level, you get to go to Disneyland. So let's just use that as an example. Mommy has this dream. She is trying to build this business, and when she reaches this level of success, we can take the family to Disneyland. Isn't that exciting? And then, you know what, kids? If you help me, I can take you to Disneyland with me. Would you like to go to Disneyland with mommy? And they say yes, and then you set again very clearly what the expectations are. Mommy's going to pick you up from school, and I'm going to bring you home, and I will feed you a snack, and then mommy needs it 1 hour. Can you give mommy 1 hour? You don't knock on her door, no interruptions, let mommy do her business. And maybe there's like a sticker, you give them a sticker for each day they don't interrupt you, so that the kids themselves can see how they are helping out, right? You're not just telling them. And then, of course, getting the spouse involved. Hey, honey, I know maybe I'm the better cook in the family than you, but I really need your help to make this happen. Do you think maybe 2 or 3 nights out of the week you can make the meals, and the other nights I make the meals? So everything is put into place with intention, right? It starts clear with the goal, and then getting everybody involved and communicating, making sure they are saying, yes, we want to help you, mommy, succeed. Otherwise, if you don't have that support, it's difficult. It's really, really difficult. And then when you, again, get clear on that 1 hour, you would be amazed at how many entrepreneurs and business professionals succeed where they just focus in 1 hour, maybe 3 to 5 times a week. I know that doesn't sound like a lot of time, but that focused time, it will accomplish amazing results. Now, you asked me about the energy part. Moms, when you're going through the day, here's the exciting thing, is that we don't start with one amount of energy throughout the day, and if we don't use it wisely, it just goes. No. As human beings, we are actually capable of generating our energy, which is great. So what we have to do, what really helps with that, number one, what is your nutrition? How well are you hydrating the body? Water is important. And number two, what are you feeding yourself? If you're feeding yourself junk food and sugar, yes, you are going to deplete your energy so quickly. So proper nutrition, however you want to define that for yourself, because I know we're picky eaters and we all have different things. So get the right nutrition for yourself. First and foremost, sleep is so important if you can. And I know moms, especially if you have young ones, you know, your goal is to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep. And then as far as regenerating, I told you you can regenerate that energy. What's going to be super important is transition between your activities. So in the morning, you know, if you can create just a little bit of time for yourself first thing in the morning, create that so that you can look at what are my top 3 things for today. You do that. Then you're getting the kids up and getting them ready for school. Now you're taking them to school. When you're going off to your place where you're working 9 to 6, while you're driving, maybe be in silence or put some meditative music on, and you're like, okay, what can I get excited about at my work today? What can I accomplish? You know, what can go wrong and how do I want to show up for that? And you get to work and you perform with excellence, right? Now it's time to go pick up the kids. Again, you've got to breathe. And you're like, release. And if you have a moment where you're not driving and you can just be by yourself and you can just close your eyes and just for maybe 2 minutes, you just release, release, release. And you just say that quietly to yourself in those 2 minutes. And then at the end of those 2 minutes, you say, okay, what am I going to do next? Oh, it's time to go pick up the kids. I am going to be present when I pick up the kids. So now you've set that intention. You go and pick them up, and then you bring them home. They know the expectation because you've communicated that with them, right? And now you go into your office or where you're going to do your work because you're going to focus for that 1 hour. And again, you take that breath and you, for maybe 1 minute this time, you just release, release, release. And you take a couple of deep breaths and you just picture yourself feeling energized. And even just that simple activity will build your energy up. And then you say, what is my intention for this hour? And you're like, I'm going to focus and I'm going to get A, B, C done. And then you get that done. And then when that is complete, I say, give yourself a mental high five. I did it. I completed these tasks. I did really good today. Celebrate yourself. And then again, you transition one more time because now you're going back to have dinner with the family, right? And so having those transition periods, because if you just go, 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 yes, you're going to wipe yourself out. And again, this is something that I practice myself in between. And in between my activities, I have a teenager, and because she is not driving herself yet, I have to take her back and forth. And sometimes I can't always be in my home office. I have to go create an office in a coffee shop, and there's a lot of noise around me.
Yes.
But I need to focus to maintain my productivity, right? And then in the evening, I've experienced myself where I have networked with a bunch of people, and though I'm an extrovert, I still can use up a lot of energy having conversations with people. And then I realize when I get home, hey, I'm getting ready to spend time with my husband and with my daughter, and I want to give them the best of me. So I will close my eyes while I'm still in the car, take a deep breath, and think release, release, release. And then I also think, how do I want to show up right now for my husband and my wife? And then when I go to sleep, let me tell you, I sleep hard because it is a lot throughout the day, right?
Yeah.
So I hope that makes a lot of sense. The key thing is to think about your intention and your transition in between your activities, and know that you can generate that energy for yourself. You can do it by thinking and visualizing it, and you can do it through physical activity too. One great way is to just do 10 squats, and that doesn't take a lot of time, but you can take 10 squats and then bounce up and down, taking 10 deep breaths, and then you'll find that you have a clarity of mind, and then you have your energy ready to go for the next activity. I really, really hope everybody finds that helpful.
Yes, that's very, very helpful. That's great because I heard a lot of people, they have problem of outsourcing and communication with their family because they have kids, their husbands. Maybe they don't tell what they plan to do, they want to do. They don't, communicate and talk to each other so the members of the family can, give her time to do what she needs to do. So outsourcing and communication is very, very important if you really want your business to, yeah, to work out. So hope you get value with this, guys. And Lynn, she shared you a lot of things that can help you to be creative and organize and outsourcing and manage all your time. I know as a mom and have a kid, small kids, things like that, and work at 9 to 6 with a job with a husband, things like that. And there are a lot of words that I feel that really drain my energy, but it's not really hard to do that if you have a process and like what you said, you get use of the transition. You just do it over and over again, and you can get use of it, and you don't feel anymore tired or like tense and panic or things like that. And of course, mindset
Definitely.
is everything, but don't forget to set your mind that you want to do that because if not, it doesn't work, right? Mm.
Right. We spin ourselves into circles. Definitely. Definitely. And then in the moments, if you have a day where you're like, you know what? Today is going to be a nothing day. Give yourself grace and permission to have a nothing day. Where it's like, okay, if you're going, to sit on the couch and binge watch something on Netflix or just read a book all day long, you know what? We need those moments too. Like I said, even the greatest Olympic athletes have rest periods. And we need to do that, especially as entrepreneurs and moms. We need to have a moment, whether it's a couple of hours or a full day or a half day, where you just say, I am not going to do anything. And then you'll find that at the end of that period, you're like, I'm ready to go again. And so that helps prevent us from burnout. So I want
Yeah.
to suggest that too.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
One key thing, and maybe you heard me in sharing it earlier, is you got to celebrate your wins.
Mm.
You got, I think a lot of times too, almost like the perfection expectation, we can look at ourselves and say, well, okay, well, yeah, I did that, but I didn't get this done. Don't beat yourself up. Do not beat yourself up. Celebrate your wins. Give yourself a woohoo or a mental high five and say, I am fabulous. It is so important to do that. It shoots the dopamine and the endorphins, and it makes your brain go, I want to do that again. And that's what helps to help you push and keep doing more and more. So it's creating that rhythm, right? With the clarity, it starts with the mindset. We want to be creative versus reactive, setting that clarity of what do I want and then how do I make that happen, break it down into the small steps, transition in between, regenerate your energy and celebrate your wins and watch what happens. It's amazing.
I know. Yes, it's really amazing. It's really great. So, feels so good, really. It feels so good. I'm happy.
Absolutely.
I'm happy.
Yay.
Yay.
Me
Also,
too.
yes, and do you have any page or groups or where people want to chat with you or connect with you and want to talk about more because we cannot talk 24 hours on live, so maybe some people wants
Right.
to hear more about you. So where they can reach out and connect with you?
Yes, really the best place to continue following me is on Instagram, and that is living, loving, laughing underscore LY, which is my name. So living, loving, laughing underscore Lee.
It's all
On
L.
Yes, it's all
Living,
L's.
laughing,
Yes.
4 L.
Yes. And then on Facebook, it's Lee, spelled LY, Smith, and that's my Facebook page. And there are other things in the works. including a YouTube channel that's coming. But consistently, I am on Instagram. In fact, I do an Instagram Live, 10:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, Monday through Friday, where, like I've said before, I share a story or a tool or a tactic, or I like to say even just a question to get you thinking. And it's all about helping you to become better than who you were yesterday. And so feel free to private message me or DM me on whatever works for you, and drop me a question and follow me and let me know, because I'm here to help you. That's part of my mission, where I do a lot of reaching out to my audience too, because I work a lot with sales managers and VP of sales, sales directors, anybody who has a sales team, working with them as well. And I do a workshop called Maximize Your Morning Routine to Maximize Your Day. And it talks a lot of the similar elements that we discussed here.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. So we can
Thank you, Maria.
and hope you have a great day. Be creative, be productive. Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
Stay creative.
Yeah, creative.
See yourself at the beginning.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. And Lynn, thank you so much, and hope to see you again in my Facebook Live. Right?
Sounds great.
All right.
Cheers.
Bye-bye. Have a nice day.